My name is Craig Leonard. Any fans of The Office out there, I named my company Craig Thoughts, inspired by Creed Thoughts. And I help people with LinkedIn, writing, editing, and making yourself sound and look good on social media in general.
So give us a little bit of background, Craig. How long have you been doing LinkedIn? Tell us more about the business.
I joined the platform back in 2009, shortly after getting out of college, and started helping others with LinkedIn around 2020 after being laid off from a sales job, and incorporated in 2021. And during that time was helping people writing profiles, IMDb profiles, and website content. So it's a lot of writing, editing, and helping people sound good as far as themselves as well as their businesses.
So you started 2009. What was it LinkedIn like then? What's it like now? Is it the same strategy as before? Tell me kind of the evolution.
Yeah, I think back then the perception was, and the perception might be still among people who don't know it that well, is it was a place to post your resume, get a job, and of course that part is still there. But over time, it's become another place for creative people, a place to put forth your knowledge about your job and your industry, to generate potential inbound leads and show your expertise as well as other functions. Recruiters obviously use it all the time to find the best candidates in other jobs in the industry and in other industries. And it's become the B2B platform out.
Yeah, definitely the B2B platform. So tell me more about that. B2B, what does that mean? And then how are people using LinkedIn for B2B business?
Instagram, TikTok, and others are well known for being business to consumer. Obviously, there's the picture element, the video element, and video has become more popular on LinkedIn and other platforms, and everyone seems to be imitating TikTok at this point. But I would say that it's become a platform that people go on to find business, to make connections, to network. The purpose is to connect with other business leaders. And people go on Facebook maybe to look at pictures of friends and family, to connect socially, and people come to LinkedIn for business purposes. So it's something that is built in your favor for business if you do it the right way, if you're respectful, if you don't pitch on the first message to someone, that's generally not good. So if it's done right and done well, it can be an amazing tool for people.
So tell me about some of those best practices, some of the ways that businesses can use LinkedIn maybe the right way. What are some of the things that you suggest?
So first connections, make an introduction, personalize it. If you have someone in common, you can go that route. If I see someone that's connected to you, I would say, hey, Bob, I see Alex. How did you meet? Nice to meet you. Something like that. I don't go in and be like, hey, I'm Craig. Here are services A, B, and C that I can offer you. Get back to me. Or I'm going to call you in 5 minutes. That's not good, not welcome. And people who are experienced with the platform can tell that you're either doing that, or they can tell when you send a message that's just a setup for the next message to be a pitch. And that's generally not going to be. So take some time with it. People know that you're lead gen, you're in sales, and to an extent we all are, but take time with it. Let it breathe a little bit. Don't just show up and throw up, as they say, and go about it in a respectful, paced way.
What are some of the features that LinkedIn has that the other social media platforms don't have that maybe makes it better at reaching out or connecting or doing business?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. I would say one that's been around a long time is recommendations. Other platforms I don't think utilize this as well. One of the ways they could do it better is to have it higher up on people's profiles, but it is there towards the bottom of people's profiles. And this allows you to ask clients that you've worked with to talk about what it's like to work with you, who you are as a person, who you are as a business person, the services you offered, and the transformations you've helped them achieve in their lives and their business lives. There's all sorts of a number of new features that have come online over the past couple of years. One is creator mode. This allows you to have your follower account at the top, as well as the hashtags of the areas where you're strongest. Alex, for instance, would probably have TikTok, podcasting, networking, perhaps, because he's great at that. It's a way to have up to 5. I would suggest doing 3 to 5 hashtags of areas that you're strong in and where you put content out to the world to demonstrate that.
Give me some other tips for creators. This is the Creator Tutorials podcast. We try to educate people, give people a kind of behind the scenes look on what it means to be a creator. What are some tips for LinkedIn creators specifically?
I would say to make the most of the featured section, which is like a top 5 or a top 10. So it allows you to post your website, your Calendly, If you're a creator person, you can put your portfolio on there. It's a place where you can have pictures and videos as well as written material to showcase your best work to the world so people can see and then say, I should talk to this person because they seem to work in areas where I need help and where I have a challenge. So it's your best place to showcase your best work. And another feature that they've tweaked a bit is the pages section, company pages. So especially if you have your own business and you're a one-person shop, small business, you're not as well known, you want to have a company page. It's an easy create. You go to the me section towards the top to the right of notifications, and towards the bottom of that, it says create a company page. And you go through the steps, make sure you have your logos and your banners, and then invite people to that page. And then go back, once you've done that, go back to your personal, connect to the company page so that it shows up with a logo next to it. So, it gives you a certain level of credibility that you have a company page. And then it'll also show up at the top. If you went to college, university, it'll show up right next to that. And then people can click on that. They go to the company page. They see that you have so many followers. You put content on there. You show what you do. And then it also connects to your website. So it's just like click, 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 goes right to your website. And it gives you a certain level of credibility versus just having what I call the boring bar graph next to your current role. So if it's like Smith Consulting and you have a boring bar graph, you don't have any description, that's not good. But if you have a company page, you're connected to it, you have the logo, you say founder at Smith Consulting, you say I serve A, B, and C sectors, and I do XYZ services. It looks 100 times better.
That's one thing I need to do too, is update my business profile. I just have the boring bars. So that's all right. Yeah. Do you know any statistics off the top of your head or kind of factoids about LinkedIn that make it the place to go for B2B business?
Yeah, so it's approaching 1 billion people on there. I don't think it's reached that yet, but I keep hearing 800, 900 million people. The income of the average user is higher than that of Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I think over 160 million people in the US. I think India might be the second most popular country. It's over 90% of the Fortune 500. The numbers are just like, I could just send one document and it would just be a no-brainer for people to get on there if they're in the business world at all.
So what's your strategy? There's a lot of different strategies out there as far as LinkedIn automation or sending out 1 gazillion messages or posting authentic storytelling. What's your take? You say you're writing content for people. Like, what does that look like? Is it news, facts, personal stories? Like, how do you tell people, hey, this is what I suggest people do on LinkedIn, or what you help people with in a little bit more detail?
I would say that there's no one way of going about it. And there's plenty of options. There's plenty of ways to, I guess the quickest, maybe best answer I can give is play to your strengths. So if you're great on video, there's certainly people succeeding with video and it's becoming more popular all the time. I haven't been using as much as I should. That's something that I need to do and connect with people who are videographers, because I can record something on my phone, but doesn't mean it's going to be good. If you're great at writing, there's still a place for that. Using 3 hashtags at the end is usually the best way to go. Write about what you know, the topics that you know, and write about solving problems that people in the sectors that you serve are facing and how you solved it. Probably don't want to say names unless you have the person's permission, company's permission, just to be respecting privacy and everything. But be able to talk to the avatars that you want to talk to and talk about the problems that they're facing, what you can potentially do, and how you solve problems for people in those situations.
Yeah. So a big question when it always comes to social media, how much, if someone's posting on LinkedIn, how much should people be posting? Should they be posting every day, twice a day, 10 times a day, like I do on TikTok sometimes? Or what's best practices as far as posting on LinkedIn?
That's tough to say.
Yeah.
I hear posting every day is a good thing. They want to give spotlights to a number of people. They don't want to just give it all to the big names all the time, because then people will just become discouraged.
Last question here, Craig. How do people connect with you? How do people support you?
My LinkedIn is linkedin.com/IN/Craig Leonard VT, as in Virginia Tech. My website is Craig Thoughts, and to book an appointment, it's calendly.com/Craig Leonard, CraigLeonard. Final thoughts, I would just say thank you to Alex for hosting me and being an awesome networker, and check out Alex's group, Creator Networking.
Thank you. I'll put his LinkedIn profile down below if you want to connect with him on LinkedIn, since that's what we're talking about today. And thanks for being on the podcast, Craig. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Alex. Appreciate it.